Larry Johnson is a former U.S. Secret Service agent and now works as the Chief Strategy Officer for CyperSponse, a security consulting firm. He joins me now by phone from Washington. So, Larry, how significant is the report that Obama administration people who were sort of left over, not necessarily at the direction of President Obama, but they made an effort to preserve this information?
Elaine, thanks for letting me be with you guys tonight. What I will say, Elaine, is this has been going on for the last 15, 16, 17 years. Law enforcement and the intelligence community has been playing cat and mouse games with not only Russia but other countries that we pay close attention to. What I also will say that there's a lot of disinformation, there's a lot of honeypots. These investigations are very difficult. They have internet service providers that are offshore. You hit proxies. It's hard to tell how they're coming in and where they're coming in from. But, you know, on the human-to-human interactions, those are easy investigations, putting someone in a certain place with another individual. These type of investigations will not take long. However, like I mentioned, the cyber investigations are much more complex, and they involve a lot of cat and mouse and back and forth.
Well, what kind of information would prompt this effort on the part of some officials who were then still within the Obama administration, but again, not acting according to this report under the direction of President Obama?
Well, without knowing exactly the information, Elaine, it's very difficult to know how to deal with intelligence information. What does the intelligence information mean, and what is the action behind that intelligence? Intelligence is not, you know, criminal activity in most cases. So the real trick in the intelligence community is what's actionable and what's not actionable. Do you put something out there that's either disinformation or it's a honeypot? I'm going to lure you in so that I can follow the information trail to see where it leads me, and then I gather more intelligence from that.
Well, the article mentions Intellipedia. Can you explain what that is?
You know, I don't really have a good definition. I've heard several definitions of that verbiage, but in this context, I'm not exactly sure what they mean.
Well, what kind of, you touched on it a little bit, but what kind of planning would go into a push to preserve sensitive information, especially as one administration would be on its way out?
Yeah, it all depends on how you gather that information, because if the information came from a certain internet service provider because it was cyber related, then you have to have access to that service provider, and if it's in another country, it's very difficult, or they could hit a proxy. So it's that evidence, even though there has to be a human at the end of any cyber attack. So to be able to put me or you behind a keyboard using either my own credentials or someone else is very difficult. At some point, you really have to have solid information that a certain individual in a certain organization in a certain country was behind that type of attack.
All right, Larry Johnson, thanks so much.
Thank you.